Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the August 25th edition of the WCW um, run here Saturday night. Obviously, this is a fun run for me, as it's old school wrestling back when wrestling actually mattered at a time when it still mattered. WCW at the time was still a mess. Ted Turner kind of having gone a little forward. Brian Carr and Zan Panzer against the Rock and Roll Express, I do believe, here. And again, kind of, Rock and Roll Express still off of their NWA run at the time. Ricky Morton, of course, still one of the best baby faces in the world at the time. Um, and the Zan Panzer gimmick is kind of, I guess I'd say, a little goofy with the mask and all of that, pink. But he's memorable, and I think that's where they wanted to go with it. Obviously, Sting talking about the wonder that is the Black Scorpion, and still being, what, 2 months maybe, a little less, into being the WCW champion, and ultimately kind of coming forward there. Black Scorpion, in one of his first promos, basically saying that Sting may not remember him, but Sting should remember him. He made a major impact. At least that's what he believes. James Earl Wright against Brian Pillman is up next. Brian Pillman has been with the company by this point a little more than a year, maybe, at most. But Wright gets sent to the outside. Pillman comes back in. Pillman a babyface the entire time. Wright gets more of the brawl, ground and pound down, and ultimately there you go. We have a promo from Sid post the Pillman match. Pillman, of course, getting the cross body. Sid kind of in a run there, and Sid then manages to, kind of the break off of the Horseman, and kind of managing to get a run of things there. Sid punch kick super basic moves, and ultimately getting things going in a positive direction, and kind of managing to get things going in a good way for himself. The power bomb leading to the victory for Sid. Sid, of course, coming off of the being the Horseman. Virtually the enhancement talent gets nothing off on Sid. Not that one would expect something like that to happen, what with the nature of things there, and ultimately getting things going according. It hits the whirly bird, run around, and it's there. It's simple, and ultimately getting things going for a little bit here. Um, and Sid gets power bomb. Junkyard Dog up next. Junkyard Dog in an enhancement match. Junkyard Dog in 1990, certainly not a guy worth writing home about by any stretch of the imagination. Kind of living off of the previous times. Dutch Mantel gets beat with a power slam in 427. I call it an enhancement match because basically Dog is seen as with a very one-sided match, very punch kick, very one-sided, and not the least bit challenging. Mantel tries to draw something out of Junkyard Dog. Dog cuts a promo on Mark Callis, Paulie Dangerously. Thunderbolt Patterson joins Jim Ross and Bob Cuddle on commentary for the contest. Patterson said that he's very interested in Rick and Scott Steiner. Not sure where this is going. Maybe Patterson was going to come back at the time because of Ole Anderson's involvement. Not really sure there. Ric Flair defeats Bob Holly via submission, figure 4, 5:57. During the bout, Jim Ross announced the women's world title would be on the line during the Clash of the Champions. Ric Flair in 1990, shorter hair, Certainly not the Ric Flair of old by any stretch of the imagination, but they still tried to get something together there, and uh, it's an interesting run to say the very least, and ultimately, um, it, it's kind of there. Holly manages to get a bunch of attempted maneuvers on Flair. Of course, the hip tosses and basic stuff. Flair obviously runs a very simple enhancement match, sends Holly to the outside. This is not the Bob Holly who we know as, Hardcore Holly or anything like that. Flair eventually does hit all of his signature spots: the inverted atomic drop, the knee drop, the figure four. Flair gets literally 6 minutes out of an enhancement match that could have been done in two. Obviously, that's where he's going. Luger accepts the U.S. title match with Stan Hansen coming up. That's there. Then Pat Rose defeats Joe Kazana, or Pat Rose and Joe Kazana, rather, are a tag team here. Don't know why I had written defeats anyway. The Wild Eyed Southern Boys are there, Steve Armstrong and Tracy Smothers. Some ride time, and Smothers manages to get a deep arm drag, as it were. You know, kind of gets things going, and ultimately manages to do that there. Um, Double chop, and nice double team. Southern Boys still seen as a team who could have some degree of a future here in 1990. Of course, they're kind of, I guess, put to the side. Tracy Smothers hits the crossbody. Ric Flair says that he wants the world title back, and also they start to tease Doom Horseman promo, basically, where they still say even the Three Horsemen are better than anyone else in WCW. That's there, and ultimately that's where we go. We'll be back with more right after this.